guys, how are you? It's Pandora. I'm back with another in-game tank review. It's two videos this week. I did upload an earlier video which was I suppose some commentary and a review for the NA player Clive. He's got a couple of videos. I know Ruckus used to do a lot of commentary for Clive. I actually collaborated with none other than Dr. Derp for this one, and Clive, you're a very brave man. we added a lot of stupid commentary on top of some of the games that Clive sent over. Yeah, I can't say anything but thank you, Clive, and thank you, Dr. Derp. It was quite a laugh doing that. The tank in question was the Panzer Kampfwagen 70, or the MBT as people call it. And I know there was quite a grind for that tank, so it was an interesting review. Interesting to see the tank in game. I don't know if I like it. I don't know. It is a unique tank. It's a very special tank. Let's just put it that way. But I don't feel like I'm missing out by not having that tank. So yeah, Clive, thank you. If you're watching this, thank you so much for sending those over, and I'm more than happy to do that again if you want. But enough about that. The iOS 11 update, I did the update. Oh my god, I'm so happy with that update. Just the ability to be able to record onto your device, save it to the device storage, and then use the file share. Android users, you can laugh at me all you want, but it's a privilege that you've had for some time, and it's so good to have. Hopefully that's going to be reflected on the channel going forward. Because I can be quite selective in some of the games that I'm putting up. The games should be better, so I should be playing better. I should be getting more medals. Just overall quality of the gameplay should get better now going forward. I was spending quite a small fortune using a MiFi device, a prepaid MiFi device, then casting to a PC, and I was spending so much money, and I was using quite a lot of data in order to do that. So being able to record onto a device is so much better. It's not 100% brilliant. I will say that there's a lot of things that Apple may need to improve, but it's at a point where I'm happy to be able to work with it, and hopefully that'll be reflected going forward. Hopefully the quality as well. I suppose the gameplay that I'm putting up on the channel will hopefully get better. Enough about that. The PTA. It's a very, very nice tank. It's the Tier 9 German medium. It's a tank that I would like to compare with the Type 61. I did have the Type 61, and it's a similar kind of gameplay. You play it the same way because, let's face it, both tanks have no armor. Now, before I go further, I just want to say I did gold the crew. I've heard nothing but horror stories about this tank and the grind. So I golded the crew. There's a massive difference for this tank between 75% and playing 100%. I did also use free experience to get the top gun. I grinded the engine, and even you do notice a difference between the two engines. I remember it being a pain, but it was a struggle that I just didn't want to do. So for me, gold in the crew was important. I know a lot of people tend to play rated battles in order to try and get their crew experience up. Now that's an option, but I don't think it's the right thing to do to bring a tier 9 tank into a tier 10 game where it's not 100% competitive. So yeah, I made that decision to go the crew. Traditionally in the past as well, I've got a big issue where I would grind the tank, grind the crew skills, but I'll be playing from a tank where I've already got bad stats on. So I think that's the big thing about gold in your crew. It's quite expensive to do it. I won't be doing it on every tank, and I haven't done it on every tank, but I think it was important to do it on this tank. Another thing that I'd like to call out for the PTA, you can see from the screen there, I haven't got all the equipment slots unlocked. Now, that's by choice. I wouldn't go out on a limb and say that this is a tank that you don't need all the equipment for. You can see that I'm currently working to unlock one. That's actually the engine accelerator, which I think makes sense on the PTA. You could go out and get the gun lane drive as well on the second tier, but right now I've only got the first tier and then one of the second tier. I think that's important to call out because a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on the ability to unlock equipment. This is quite a competitive tank, even with just the first tier of equipment. I've been lucky enough to say that I've aced the tank. I got it with 4.7k of damage, 4 kills, and 1.5k of experience. Now I'm not going to show you the tank in Armor Inspector. It's a Leo PTA. It's got very little armor. There's no point in showing that. Instead, I am going to show you the tank and how it compares to other tier 9 mediums in its class in Tank Compare. So here are the tanks in Tank Compare. I've compared it against all the other tier 9 mediums in its class. Now, by default, it's set to the rammer. Just looking at the DPM stats, you've got 2900. When you change that, it drops down to 2700. Now, as you can see from the screen there, I'm just going to add calibrated shells to the rest of the tanks just to see how they compare. And you can see that it's still decent enough when it comes to the DPM stakes. I have a habit of using calibrated shells even at tier 9 because you're going to have tier 10 games and you want to be able to pen tier 10 tanks, particularly the heavier tier 10 tanks. So I tend to just use calibrated shells, and I think that's interesting just to include that comparison. You can see from all the other stats, I am changing some of the details here. You can see the alpha, it's a 350 alpha gun. It's the same as every other tank at its class except for the M46 pattern. Rate of fire, it's 7.79, which isn't the worst in its class. The pattern is better, the T54E1 is better, and obviously the T54 is a lot better as well. So those are the tanks that you might want to avoid. Don't brawl with and don't engage when it comes to the DPM stakes. The reload 7.7, which isn't bad. It's not the worst. It's a little bit slow when it comes to using the tank, so you want to select your shots very, very carefully. It's got a 105mm gun, which is the same for every other tank in its class except for the T54. Shell velocity, it's 1478, which is very, very decent indeed. You've also got options in your equipment to help improve that. As you can see from the screen there, the aim time is shown as 1.87, but that's with the gun lane drive. It's actually 2.09 without the gun lane drive. So that's why I stress that you might want to actually add the gun lane drive. It's not the best, as you can see. The T54E1 does a lot better with 1 second, but it's not the worst, I guess. You just have to remember that you have to use the aim on this tank. The dispersion, the default dispersion isn't that good. It's 0.29. You can see there on the screen 0.275 is with the refined gun. So it's up to you if you want to add the refined gun. I'm making more of a case against why you should equip your tank as opposed to not. But I still stand by that point. The rest of the tank stats, I suppose we're calling out. You've got 6 degrees of gun depression. You've got 20 degrees of gun elevation. You'll see that in some of the gameplay where the gun depression is a bit of a pain. I would like it to have more, but hey, you can't have everything with every tank. Some of the other stats, as you can see from the speed, you get a top speed of 65 kilometers an hour, top in its class. The power to weight ratio also top in its class, 23.52. Terrain resistance is also pretty good. I'm quite surprised by the E50 there. It's equal to the E50. Credit coefficient, some of the other stats we'll just talk about. Coefficient is 90%. You're going to make money with this tank. As you can see, it's the top in its class. View range of 274. It's not the best, but not the worst. The T54E1 does worse. You got 1650 hit points. Your weight is 38 tons. It's the lightest in its class. Hull armor and just armor in general, in comparison to the rest of the tanks, it's literally got nothing. It's got more than the Type 61, but against the rest of the tanks, you're driving a paper mache tank and you have to treat it like so. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to get into some of the gameplay. I've got 4 games in this review, more than usual, but hopefully this will help you, maybe as a guideline, how to play the tank, how it plays, yeah, and just general gameplay in general. So the first game is a game of Supremacy. It's on Canal. I'm just looking at the makeup of the team. It looks like we've got a few mediums on our team. They've got the T-54 lightweight, and that's the only medium they've got, while we've got an RU-251. We've spawned on the southwest side, and I've just put out a call. I'm going to go for the D cap. Just looking behind me to see who is coming or who might be coming. See the 251 and the Panther, I believe. There's a guy there who's asking me what gun I've got. I'm just letting him know that I've got the top gun. He's got the RU-251, so I can imagine why, I can understand why he's interested in this, or why he's asking that question. So we've spotted a IS-3 who's making his way to the D cap. A bit strange for a heavy to be doing. So we're going to engage with the tank. He's already taken shots, so I'm just going to roll down the hill. He's set on fire. Put a shot into him. 321, not bad. And he's in all kinds of licorice, all sorts of, as Bushka would say. Engine fire, and he's taken care of pretty quickly. So the Panther 2 has taken the decap. I roll in because we want to carry out the objective of the game. So get the decap. As I suspected, not many of the Reds have actually contested for this cap, so it's an easy enough cap. The RU-251 just drives across me there, and I can't really understand it. I was going to comment on it, but I didn't. It's a little bit annoying for someone to drive across you and then end up going the way that you were going anyway. Never mind that. There's a T-34 who's spotted up. I take a shot through the tread. Through the shed. I don't pen him. Another bit of a speculative shot. These 2 tanks are getting in the way here, so I move away from them. There's not really much point in staying there. There's the Jag Tiger. Put a shot in on him, and I'm just getting out of the way because that tank has a lot of DPM, so I don't want to be getting caught up with him. Turn my attention back to the T-34, put a shot in on him, and I'm just trying to get myself in a position here where I can shoot the Jag Tiger. I don't know if I actually caused that fire, and I definitely didn't kill him, but I got the second last shot to hit him. Turn my attention back to the T-34, and I'm in a nice little position here. I've got some cover. We're getting the 3rd cap now. Actually wander into the cap. There's tanks that are dead, so I've got some protection, some hard cover behind these. Trying to put some shots in the T-34, just keeping an eye on him. He's not really doing much there. We've secured the 3rd cap, so it's safe to say we've got control of this map. I'm gonna push on the T-34. I roll up here. He isn't shooting me. I put a shot in on his track. I take a shot there from someone on some of the other tanks across the map. Put the last shot in to finish off the T-34, and this is where we notice the Tiger 2. He's covering the A cap, and I just want to reset camo here. See what he does. I'm in no rush. We've got control of the cap, got control of the game. Put a shot in. I think I track him there. He misses his shot. I do take another shot there from one of the other Reds. I hit adrenaline, finish him off, and I just want to push up here and try and get the last cap. And that's where I noticed the lightweight. As you can see, no gun depression there. I had to pull back to get the gun depression. I'm getting the A cap. That's all we want to do. We've got 4 caps. There's 1,000, and we've won the game. And I do what I usually do. I try and get some shots in on the last guy, even though we've passed the 1,000 mark. So not a bad game. 2nd class mastery, 2.5 of damage, 3 kills. I think that game shows how you can use a tank to get around the map pretty quick, and especially when it comes to Supremacy, where you can capture most of the caps. So on to the second game. It's another game of Supremacy, and it's on Dead Rail. Just looking at the makeup of the team, it Looks like we have more mediums again. So I'm going to put a call out, go C cap, which is what I will probably usually do in a medium. Happy to see the T-54 coming with me, so it's all good. We're just making our way up to the cap itself. I think it's important when you get up there to see if you can spot any reds. Sometimes I like to anticipate that tanks will come up here. So what I do is I tend to push on the right hand side, move in towards the hill where sometimes you can get some cover if there are reds up here. And I'm just hitting the hill here. We haven't spotted anyone yet. None of the reds have come up towards the C cap. And that's where we light up some of the heavies. We see an E75. Looks like he's just coming out of spawn. I'm not going to shoot him. He is taking fire. Put a shot in on the side and get a rather high roll. Our two mediums that are accompanying me are taking the C cap, so I'm going to push on. There's no point in sitting there. I don't have the shots to snipe, so I'm going to push on, see if I can spot any more reds. Usually you will get a few in their spawn, so I push up here. The IS-3 is spotted. I don't think he sees me yet. Put a shot in on him. I do get spotted now at this point. I hit adrenaline. Try and put more shots in on him. I think it's always good if you try and take out some of the heavies, particularly ISs. There's a Yag target. Now you can see the gun depression, the issues that I have just to try and get the gun down. Put a shot in on the Waffen tractor. He doesn't come back into scope. He gets killed. The IS-3 is still down there. Again, I have to move. I have to relocate. Probably looking back on it, that RU-251 pushed quite a bit, but it's probably my fault that he did die. I should have maybe be pushing with him. Put a shot in there. Don't know where it goes. Now, I'm not really interested in killing the IS. He looks like a one-shot. My key concern here is trying to take out the backup that is coming on the red side. So put another shot in the RU. I kill his driver, but he gets healed. And as you can see, there are the issues with the gun depression. Now, I do get a cheeky shot in with HE. I do take a bounce there as well, it's always surprising when you're driving something as light as a Leo PTA and you bounce a shot. You always kind of have to chuckle. Put a shot in the Yag Tiger. Now he's a concern. He's got most of his health points. The RU-251 pops back out. Again, you can see the reticle bouncing. And I'm trying to get it down as low as possible. I'm higher than the RU. That's really putting the gun depression to its lowest. He pops out and managed to finish him off. Now there's an E75 at the back of the map. Look at this first shot. 472 meters away, and I managed to pen him. This is when I realized that I'm the only one left on my team. Teammates are all dead, and I'm taking the advice here of going left. We've got two tanks that are very, very low hit points, and then we've got the Yag Tiger, which is a little bit unfortunate because it has high DPM on that tank. So I decide to relocate. Now, odds are in these situations, what I usually find is one of the reds will usually try and take the cap that we've got. We've got one cap, they've got two. Lo and behold, spot the red, managed to finish him off. A little bit of hesitation there on my part. I should have killed him maybe quicker. I do get spotted. And it's really just a matter of resetting camo, but also making the reds try and think that I'm going one way and maybe go the other. So I'm going very, very far left out here, just out beside the trains. What I'm going to do now, I have pushed quite far because I want to try and spot the reds, and then I change position. So I'm going to go for the B cap. Looking at the timing, I'm probably too late to hit the B cap. Managed to spot up the E75, put in a shot, but don't pen him. I'm just trying to work my way around the tank. I get hit there by the Yag Tiger. Now this is my mistake, I should have stayed in the B cap. Looking at the score, Yag Tiger puts in a shot. I put in a shot, it doesn't really work. I'm trying to get in around him. Now someone in the team is saying go A, which is probably stupid. I should have really got B, slow down that counter. The Yak target takes a shot, I take a shot. Both don't do any damage, and that is the end of the game, unfortunately. They get to 1,000 first, 3,000 damage, 3 kills, and yeah, in hindsight I should have taken the B cap there, stopped the counter. If that was an encounter game, I'm pretty confident that I would have won that, but it just wasn't the way. So on to the third game. It's an encounter battle and it's on Canyon. Now this is a tier 10 game. I make up my mind here, looking at the makeup of the team here. I'm going to try and spot. Now I think center is pivotal when it comes to spotting on this map. So I'll put a call out, tell the team that I'm spotting in the middle. I'm just going to try and get in there as quickly as possible. I get an acknowledgement from the Object 140 and he's actually coming with me. So the Leo probably has more gun depression, but it's good. It's always good to bring someone up here with you. I think it's probably bit of a mistake if you're allowed to do it on your own, but then again it depends on the makeup of the team. And the Object 140 has pushed quite a bit. I'm usually quite nervous that there might be tanks on the left. When you roll up on this side into the middle, I think it's important to have backup on your team roll right. But we can see there's 4 of the reds who have lit up. They've gone the preferred side for me because I've got cover when I roll back down. So the Object has done a really good job in spotting, but I think he's pushed a little bit too far for my liking. He is in a position where he's keeping them spotted and he is keeping them interested, so I can really leverage his hit points, but his hit points he's losing them pretty quickly. So rolling up here, seeing who I can see, try and put a shot in on this 263. I cannot understand how that bounced because I'm pretty sure I hit him on the side there. It doesn't pen him. Those 263s can be quite trollish. Roll up again, try and take on the E100. He's backing away. I'm asking for help here because I think our team, like other than the Object, I can't see our team doing anything. But I can see the Reds have been taking some hits, so they must have rolled right behind me. And I'm just trying to keep them spotted. There's the T95. I don't manage to hit him. I do get spotted, so I back off straight away. Just waiting for the reload, and I can see one of the greens is pushed up on the right hand side. There is a red on the far left. Put a shot in on the E100. Managed to track him, I believe. Looks like we take down one of the reds. And I'm just rolling around to the other side here because I don't feel confident. I see that there's reds on the left hand side and I've got more cover in this position, so I relocate a little bit. T95, he's looking at me. I do get spotted, so I roll back. Try and put shots on other tanks. So there's a E50. Try and put a shot in on him. Doesn't pen. T95 is turned around at this point, so I'll put a shot in on him. Get spotted again, rolling back, using this soft cover as well behind the bush, which is pretty good. And just consider my options. T62, I don't manage to pen him. I could see we're in a really tricky situation here. There's some developments here on the right hand side. Managed to take out the PTA. Spotted again. I'm just cautious of this E100. I put a shot in on him, manages to pen him, and I want to take him out. So I hit adrenaline. He's backing off, giving me the shot, and I managed to take him out. Now I notice one of the reds is creeping up behind me. I'm just pushing up, trying to keep alive, trying to not put the tank in a troublesome situation. T95, put a shot in on him, get the engine fired. Now I need to support the green that's been taken out here. We've got 2 against 1, so I roll up here. T95 gets taken out, but so does our green. Put a shot in at the T62A, and this is a situation I don't want. So I've got a tier 10 medium coming up. I really just brawling with the Royal tank here. This is not how you want to be treating the PTA. Putting shots in on him. Managed to put a shot in on the soft part of his turret, but it's pretty much game over from this point. Just trying to do as much damage as possible to try and make it easier for my teammates when they do arrive. Screaming for help, and yeah, the T62 manages to finish me off. E75 rolls down, finishes off the T62, so it's really just 2 against 1. You're going to have those situations where you have to try and put in as much damage sometimes. I was going to say something there, but I refused. I don't think there's much point. The 183 is moving into a position where he's going to try and help the teammate. E75 is in a spot of bother. The 183 is rolling forward. He's pushing quite hard. Once in a shot, big roll, 923. I'm surprised at this point he's still rolling forward, and he's making it difficult for the E75, who surely has a shot in the clip. 183 still pushing. E75 pushes him off. So not a bad game. I did die in that one, but we played alright. Battle stats, we get a first class, 3.8 of damage, got 2 kills. Not a bad game. A bit of a shame that we lost, but I was a little bit stupid in hindsight taking on the T62A. So 4th and final game. It's a game of supremacy on 4th Despair. Now this is going to be a little bit interesting. I prefer bigger maps with the PTA. I like to try and keep to the edge lines as possible, because it's a delicate tank. Again, this is a tier 10 game. Looking at the makeup of the team, I do see we have one other medium, so I'm going to push for the A cap. I'm assuming the team from the call that most people are going to try and get A and B, so I'm calling for help. I get the affirmative from the team, so I'm just going to stick around this position here just to see if we can spot any of the reds. I do see our other medium is pushed up into the A position. We spotted up the AMX. He's already taking shots. If he comes up that hill, the plan is to try and take shots on him. Now that's where we spot the IS-8. He's in the middle of the map. Just keeping an eye on him. He's being engaged by greens. I put a shot in here, bounce off the turret. Probably a bad shot to take. I'm looking again, see if I can put shots in, and I managed to finish him off with that shot. So far so good. Managed to take out one of the reds and managed to take the kill. Now I'm a little bit worried that they might be flanking. We've only spotted some of the reds, but not all of them. Yag Tiger is in a good position of cover, so I roll around, and that's when we notice the IS-7. Try and put a shot in there. Now I didn't damage him, but I did do some module damage to the view scope. So I'm rolling around, trying to put more shots in, trying to avoid getting shot. And you can see the IS-7 just trollish as hell. Our other medium has taken some damage, so I'm going to try and back him up, push into a position where I can put some fire into the reds, try and put another shot into the IS-7. It still can't pen him. So I'm going to roll around and just try and keep on any reds that might be on the left hand side. I do take a shot there, unnecessary a little bit, trying to get the gun depression, trying to get the gun down. So I move up to this wall here, try and put a shot in the lower bases. I bounce again. It's not going well. Need to take out this IS-7, and that's when I take a massive hit there. That is from the 183, judging by the damage that it did to me. Very little health points at this point. I am a one-shot, so I need to play this very, very passively. We do have the 183 spotted. We also do have the T54 spotted. A bit of a speculative shot there. I think I might have hit him there. Look at the IS-7. He's a one-shot. Just waiting for him to go down. He goes down, gets taken out, and this is when the T54 makes a charge for it. He's taking shots, putting shots in, taking another one, and he's clearly going for me. He see that I'm a one shot, so he's going for me. Managed to take him out. YOLO. It's really just a matter of taking out the last two reds. You can see the 183, he is spotted, he's taking hits, and it's just a matter of, I actually rotated my screen there. I need a bit of an edit. When you're recording, if you rotate the screen, it actually records in the orientation that it's rotated in. So I'm just trying to tell the team here, they're over here. Need some help. I want to survive at this point, but I'm trying to put shots in. Hit the 183. Just waiting for the reload. I've got good cover here. 183 is a one shot. Managed to finish him off. And it's really just 5 against 1 now. It's really just a matter of time to kill this last red. Moving in. He's taking hits already. It's the Yag Tiger on the move. Take a shot, and I managed to finish him off. Now that's not with a V-stab, but we did manage to scab the kill there in the end. And we're going to see the battle stats. You can see a 3rd class mastery. We do get Top Gun with 1300 damage with 4 kills. A lot of scab kills there. I did throw that game in because I wanted to show how the tank could be played in more of a passive supporting role. So that's the Leo PTA. It's not a bad little tank, quite challenging. As I said, I'll probably try and grind the tank a little bit more. This is going to be a long grind. I need 250,000 to try and get the Leo 1. I've got 63,000 at the moment, so I don't know if I'll try and get some of the equipment. In my eyes, it's a little bit of it's a bit needless. Like I said, I think it's quite a competitive tank without the equipment, but I might try and get the gunline drive and obviously finish out trying to get the engine accelerator. Nice little tank, like I said. Really like it. Lovely little gun on it. It's nippy. If you use it like a proper medium, I suppose you've got enough speed to be able to relocate, which is always handy in the game. Depending on how the game changes and how you read it, if you need to relocate, it's always good. So having that speed is great. The fact that it hasn't got any armor, you literally have to play it very passively. But to be honest, I kind of like playing that kind of style of play. My medium play, like I said earlier, I am playing a lot of mediums nowadays, so I think this tank kind of suits me. If you're still watching at this point, thank you for watching. It's a bit of a long one this time. I do apologize for it being so long, but thank you for watching as always, and hope to catch you on the next one. Do take care. Bye bye.